Hi, this clip is to help you with writing paragraphs. And the way that we're going to visualize this is that we're going to imagine that the way we want to write is like a hamburger. So this is the hamburger writing model for paragraphs. Now we have this big juicy hamburger right here. And if you're vegetarian, just pretend that meat is chickpeas or something. And just like a burger, a paragraph is made up of lots of different ingredients. We have our bun, which is our topic sentence, the first sentence in our paragraph, and of course the bottom of the bun, which is the concluding sentence, the last sentence in your paragraph. And in the middle, you have three detail sentences, and without them this is not a burger, it's just a bun. So we need the detail, we need the lettuce, we need the cheese, we need the meat, otherwise we don't have a hamburger. So first of all, we're going to talk about the introductory sentence, which is often called the topic sentence, and this is our bun, the top of our bun. So as you can see here, our topic sentence is a mini introduction that says what you're going to talk about in this paragraph. And what we're going to do once we go through each individual ingredient in our burger is we're going to look at an example of how you would write using this burger idea. So after we've done our introductory sentence, our topic sentence, that's our bun, the next thing we have to do is we have to give our first detail sentence. And this is the lettuce. We need lettuce on our bun, otherwise we don't really have a hamburger. So this lettuce, this detail sentence number one, gives an explanation of your topic sentence. And that's all you're doing in that sentence. Now, if we move on and we move to our detail sentence two, which is, of course, our cheese, this is where you give an example. You insert an example to support your idea. It can be from your own experience, someone else's life, from a book, or even a movie. It depends on what you're being asked to write about. So now we have our detail sentence number three. This is our meat. We need meat in our burger. This is where you can add another example. So you insert another example to support your idea. It can be from your own experience again, or all those other things we talked about in the first time. Finally, we have our concluding sentence, and this is the bottom of our bun. Without the bottom of our bun, our burger just does not stick together. It's not a burger, it would just be a mess on the floor. So we need this conclusion. We need this rounding off of our paragraph. And this is a sentence that is a conclusion that says once again what the main idea of your paragraph was, usually using some different words. Okay, what you see here in front of you is what you will actually get to write your own paragraph. What I've done here is I've given you a question that I want you to write about in this paragraph. And this question is, write a paragraph about the worst or the best day of your life. Make sure you include some details and see if you can use a metaphor or a simile in your writing. If you can use alliteration in there, even better. And our bun is what we're going to focus on to start with. Remember, our bun is our topic sentence, a mini introduction that says what you're going to talk about in this paragraph. Okay, so you can see here that I've written my topic sentence in here, and this is what I want you to do on your own piece of paper when you try one for yourself. I've written, it is impossible to pick one day and call it the best day of my life. That's my mini introduction, that's my bun. So my next sentence is my lettuce. I need lettuce on my bun. Remember, I need details. I need ingredients. This sentence gives an explanation of the topic sentence. And I've written for this sentence, There are so many positive experiences in my life, it would be unfair to pick just one. Now we're looking at the cheese, we're looking at more detail. Our burger needs more ingredients in it for it to be a really good, enjoyable burger. And my example, which is what this sentence is, my example here says, at different times, that should read, of my life, different things were important to me. When I was a teenager, I thought finding $50 at the beach was the best thing in the entire world. And just in case you've noticed this here, this is a semicolon. And maybe you need a little reminder. We use a semicolon when we have two independent clauses in our sentence. And if you think back to what we did a few weeks ago, or last week, we talked about clauses, and an independent clause is when that clause could be a sentence all on its own. It would make sense. It doesn't rely on another clause for you to take meaning from that sentence, from that clause. So the semicolon shows us that we have two parts to our sentence, two clauses that would make sense on their own. They could be two sentences. But I chose to use a semicolon because I wanted to make a link, a stronger link between these two ideas than would be there if I put a full stop in between them. So now we're up to the meat, which is still a detail. It is still an ingredient in the burger. So the meat is another example that we want to give to make our sentence have more impact, to make it more detailed, to make it a really delicious burger. So for my sentence, I've put here, now that I am an adult, I would have to say that it is hard to beat having my children when thinking about the best days of my life. So we have our bun again, which is the bottom of the bun. And remember, this is our conclusion, our rounding off. And we need to have this sentence in our paragraph because without it, our sentence would all just fall down and collapse like a burger that doesn't have something to hold it together. So let's have a look here at my concluding sentence is, when we consider how much we change over time, it would be better to ask about a specific time rather than our entire lives. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you this paragraph all put together so that all the ingredients of our burger come together, all the details and sentences in our paragraph will all come together. Okay, now we're going to look at our paragraph all pulled together. So this is like our burger with all of the ingredients in it. This is our paragraph with all of those sentences, all of those ingredients put together. And you're going to notice as well that I made a few changes, which you will do when you are editing your work. When I realized I made a mistake or there was something I needed to put in that the question asked me, like a simile or some alliteration. So let's look at our paragraph all together. It is impossible to pick one day and call it the best day of my life. There are so many positive experiences in my life, it would be unfair to pick only one. At different times of my life, different things are important to me. And now I have my editing hat on here, like you will when you read over your work, and I've realised that right here, when I did the word are, I should have said were, because I'm talking about things that happened in the past. When I was a teenager, I thought finding $50 at the beach was the best thing in the entire world. I was as happy as a pig in mud. Now that I am an adult, I would have to say that it is hard to beat having my children when thinking about the best days of my life. When we consider how much we change over time, it would be better to ask about a specific time rather than our entire lives. So there you have it. Now you can see how all of those different details that you just write step by step come together to produce a really detailed paragraph. You're going to have a go at doing it yourself using the same sort of sheet of paper that I just showed you. But before we do that, I just want to point out to you where I made sure I answered the question. So I obviously answered the question by talking about the best day of my life, but I made sure I included some alliteration when I talked about finding $50. And you'll also notice that I used a simile here when I said I was as happy as a pig in mud. So there you have it.